going on, y'all? New episode, new week. Incorrectly correct. We're here. Now that you are, go and do the little things that you need to do. You know what I'm saying? Well, that I'm asking. Like, subscribe, comment, share, all that little bullshit that they tell us to say. I don't even know who they are. You know what I'm saying? It's a script that I was told that we gotta say if you got a podcast or a talking point that's on the internet. So there we have it. Anyway, that's done. And y'all know how we do. We jump right into it. Ah. This conversation goes around a lot. A lot, man. And I know that I'm a part of it a gang of times. And while thinking about it, talking about it, man, it's easy to lean on one side of any type of conversation, especially when it relates to you or you in agreement with it. It's like, I'm gonna lean on this side. You don't too much want to look over the fence and get a better understanding, right? You just want to stay on your side and that's it. However, man, I think it's healthy for us as people to maybe, you know what I'm saying, you look over there on the other side of that fence when it comes to conversations and say, you know what, man, let me let me see what it's like over here. Let me get a better understanding. That way you ain't too aggressive in your points or in your logic. You know what I mean? And what I'm talking about is soft society or an evolved society, right? So what we're gonna talk about, man, we're just gonna question a lot. We're gonna explore some things, you know what I'm saying, that we as a people we wrestle with it. Have we become a weaker society? You know what I'm saying? Or have we evolved beyond unnecessary suffering? I want y'all to pay attention to that. Unnecessary suffering. Right? And this is why I say this. I was having a conversation. And I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, like, man, I remember a time. There we go, as older people. But I do. I remember a time where, in the neighborhood you grow up in, there's always that one family who has more than everyone else, right? And there was you ain't feel no way about them, but it's just like, if you don't have too much, you kind of curious of the things that they got. I'm just being real, right? And it's like, there's a guy that we used to know, and he had everything. He was just stingy with it. But we was curious as the youth, like, dang, he got the new this, he got the new that, he got this, he got that. And we always, want to go and see what's cracking. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's over there? Like, he got the new system. What's that? He got the new this. I want to see how that worked. And he was always like, nah, you ain't coming over here. You know what I mean? We used to call him like stuck up or selfish or whatever. But in hindsight, it's 2020. He just protecting his shit. He don't want a lot of people touching on his stuff. He might break it. What I'm saying is, we live in a world now, and I'm noticing. I even noticed this, like in the 2000s. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, dang, like everybody got the new this. Everybody got the new that. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody on the block got the new this, the new that, and you see it. And now it's not as if people can't afford them. Is maybe there's a household that just don't allow gaming systems, new technology in their house because they want their children to just like naturally grow with nature and what they suppose. I don't know how it goes in those households, but what I am saying, I know I'm rambling, but let me get to the point. Everybody has something. There's nobody is missing out. Nobody is missing out. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I remember when it's like we ain't got no McDonald's money. I can make McDonald's at home, right? Y'all know that conversation. Then as I get older and I notice, like, well, damn, everybody got McDonald's money. You know what I'm saying? It's just little things that I pay attention to where it's like we're beyond unnecessary suffering. You know what I mean? You think about what's available to us now. We didn't have that, you know? And our generation and the generations before us, we may look at it like, oh, they spoiled, they got everything, they think they know everything. And we stay on our side of the fence with that instead of looking over just to maybe see, like, And that's what we getting into today. That's what I mean when I said unnecessary suffering, because it don't exist anymore. Right? Like there was a time when survival was the only priority. You know what I'm saying? Like people woke up with one mission, man. Like we got to make it through the day. Right? There was no therapy, huh? You don't know what you call it now, the emotional check-ins. Right? There was no conversations about boundaries, no discussions about mental health. That wasn't around. It was just survival. Right? And I feel like because that was life back then, it was harder. The people of those days became harder. Like we had to be hard to live in a harder world. Now it's different. It's completely different. You know what I mean? Like, man, your food come to the door. We're so used to it, we not even grasping on how crazy that is. Food comes to the door. I'm at the point, like, if I'm being real, like I live out in the country, man. Like country living. I live out in the country. There's like, let's just say I want to order a pizza. There's no, there is no pizza restaurants that would deliver to where I stay because it's so far away, and it's really not, but it is. You know what I mean? So it's like, nah, man, we don't deliver there. Everyone I've ever called on, it's like, nah, we don't deliver there. So my situation is, ain't no food coming to the door unless I do Uber Eats or um those food ones, Grub Hubs or whatever. Them shit. DoorDash. Like I would have to do that if I want food to come to my door, but I don't. I don't want it. You know what I'm saying? I'll go and get it. That plays into a part of the way we grew up. You know what I'm saying? Like it was rare that we had food delivery to the house. We went and got it. Or I ain't about to get into that. But anyway, like think about it, like attention arrives instantly nowadays. Like instantly. Which is I can just jump on my phone or my computer and I can put up some shit that'll make people see and just the world can just see it automatically. You know what I'm saying? Comfort is available 24/7. I'm gonna dive into that for a little bit. Comfort is available 24/7. What do you mean by that, man? Meaning that self gratification, it'll come from anywhere. Anywhere to where you really ain't got to deal with a lot of shit. Like you ain't got to sit yourself down, look into the mirror, you know what I'm saying, and break shit down upon yourself. It's like you get that instant gratification, so you're always comfortable, right? Like stimulating mind is right there in the palm of your hand. It's just always there, right? So technology has removed struggle from many parts of life. right? That's just the truth. And somewhere along the way, the question emerged, which is, have we evolved or have we became soft? Right? Because depending on who you ask, today's society is either emotionally intelligent or emotionally fragile. Hmm? I know y'all have these conversations. It's either compassionate or weak. It's either liberated or undisciplined. And we really don't know the truth, which is what I'm trying to get at. We're trying to get to the middle ground here. You know what I mean? Like, is this a soft society or is it an evolved one? Hmm? All right. So let's get to it. Let's ask the question, or let's make the statement of, why the older generation thinks society is soft, right? And I looked into it as far as like did some thinking. What would older people say? I even spoke with older people. You know what I'm saying? And getting 8 points. I even spoke to the youth. You know what I'm saying? I did my due diligence to bring y'all this episode, man, and even my own thinking and my own experiences. Right? So older generations, like I keep saying we. I ain't really old, but I feel old. But the older generations often measure strength through endurance, right? Like going through it, no matter what, sacrifice, silence, ooh, we survival, right? And to us and to the ones older than us, man, like the struggle is normal, right? Like even when you dumb tired, when you super, super tired, you still work, right? And you hurting, you just stay quiet. Oh, see how I did that right there? Like all your problems was handled internally. That's what I was saying. Like that instant gratification, that instant comfort, we didn't have that. We really had to go through these things internally, man. And then because of that mindset, many older people look at modern culture and they see oversensitivity, right? I'm one of those. I'm telling you, I see it. I see entitlement. I see emotional instability and I see lack of discipline. And I ain't the only one. From the older perspective, man, like people break under pressure too easily. Ooh, God. And there's some truth to that, man. There's some truth to that. Like a lot of people today, they struggle with criticism, rejection, right? If they discomfort, they struggle with it. Delayed gratification, they struggle with it. Accountability. Sorry to scream. Sheesh. Struggle with it. Right? So, the older people, this is why they feel the way they feel. I mean, we soft. You know what I mean? We used to work these jobs and you come home and then we got to deal with the children. Man, my son don't go through none of that. Look how he raised my grandson. Ain't nothing like how I raised that boy. Like modern life, man, conditioned people to just expect comfort immediately. And then in modern life, right, when discomfort show up, and a lot of people panic instead of adapting whew, to the struggle. Huh? Come on, man. I'm gonna give you something. I saw something, and I got to bring it up. I saw something that ties into what I'm saying right here. You know how the modern culture, we see it and we say they're overly sensitive, and they're entitled. You know what I'm saying? Emotionally instability, right? They can't handle criticism, rejection, accountability. They struggle with these things. Um, and so I saw this clip, and it was like two dudes, and I guess they rank women, or I don't know how it go, but I seen two dudes, and one woman, she walked out, and she was a, she was a big girl. You know what I'm saying? She was a plus size woman, like plus though. And she walked up, and I guess they're supposed to say, "Yeah, nah, we'll keep you, or we'll choose you, or no, nah, we don't choose you. Go ahead." It's like one of them silly ass shows or whatever. And one guy asked her like, "Hey, what's your favorite meal or what's your favorite dinner?" And before she could say anything, the other guy was like, "Everything." They just started laughing at her, or laughing at what the guy said. And she had a look of distraught, right? She had a look of anger, a look of how dare you, you know what I mean? It was just like, and she walked off, right? So obviously the rest of the questions wasn't asked. She walked off because she felt, you know what I'm saying, maybe disrespected, or, you know, criticized, and she ain't feeling it. And I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be that insensitive and say that I don't understand her plight. Like, I don't understand why she was so upset. I get it. However, and I'm not defending these guys, but however, um, lady, that's that struggle with accountability, right? The struggle with rejection or criticism. Even though they didn't reject her, she walked off, but struggling with criticism. She knows that she's a heavy set lady, right? Now this is the part that upset me. It didn't upset me that she couldn't handle the criticism. What did? This is why I say it. When that dude said what he said and everybody laughed and she walked away hurt, mad, disgusted. I don't know her real emotions, but all of those looked like it was a part of it. When she walked off, this is where I had an issue with. I'm like, you know that you're a big woman, right? Like, you're not, come on, man, you're not naive to that. And I understand too, a lot of people, they got weight from all kind of different things. This doesn't necessarily mean that because you eat a lot, right? I know a lot of big people who don't even eat a lot, but it's things like, and like an allergic reaction can bring on fat. Scientifically, look it up if you think I'm bullshitting. Not only that, let's say, thyroid problems. There's so many different reasons why you can like have a lot of weight on you. It doesn't necessarily mean you eat all the time. So for them to say she eat everything and then start laughing, you know, obviously they're ignorant to her reason for being big. But my issue with the lady was, you gotta know that there's gonna be people who aren't understanding. There's gonna be people who are ignorant to what could cause you to be big. Right? You gotta know that they exist. So when they see you, they might have some things to say without even knowing the real truth. But you gotta have that kind of understanding in your brain to know that somebody is gonna say something or feel something. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm a big dude. I'm fat, right? So I don't walk out my house like I wish somebody would say something about my weight. Who am I to think that somebody is not gonna say anything? That's that shit I'm talking about. Like with this younger generation, it's like, how dare you say something about anything that has to do with me? And my thing is, how dare you think nobody is gonna say anything? Come on, man. We gotta do better at that. And that's what I'm getting. That's why some of the older generation look at these younger folks and be like, man, y'all too weak, y'all too sensitive, y'all too soft. Y'all expect all kinds of comfort all the time. Y'all expect um everybody to be sensitive to your lifestyle. And in real life, that's just not fair, and that's just not reality, honestly. And that's what a lot of the older people have to say. You know what I mean? That's how they feel when it comes to these younger folks. So, is it softer? Is it evolving? But then think about it like this. Let's think about it like this. Like, maybe society isn't soft, right? Maybe it's aware. Unlike the lady who I guess was not self-aware, but we ain't speaking on just her. But society, like, maybe it's aware, right? The other side of the fence. Previous generations were tough, right? And a lot of us, we were also emotionally damaged, man. Right? We survived life, but did we really heal from it? Did we really heal from that harsh life? And this is why I say you got to look on the other side of the fence and understand the dynamics of everything. Because on your side of the fence, you're still thinking like the past. Huh? You're not trying to adapt to the new ways. Right? And we want to look at the youth and be like, man, y'all know how to adapt. But we can say the same for us. We don't know how to adapt to how the new world goes. We're too stuck in our own pain and everything that we survived. We're still stuck in there. Right? The previous generations, right? Trauma was normalized. Emotional suppression was praised. Mental health was ignored. Huh? People stayed in. Listen, they stayed in abusive relationships, shitty jobs, right? Fucked up environments. They stayed in it. How many people know your grandma is in a we hear it all the time. Let's hear some celebrities say it. Like, man, I tried to give my mama a house and she ain't want to leave the neighborhood. How many times have you heard that? Or somebody who has a grandma is like, man, I lived here. She lived in this neighborhood her whole life. And let's say the neighborhood has gotten horrible. It's gotten bad. But I'm not about to sit here and leave. What I'm leaving for? Well, you're leaving because they breaking in the motherfucking houses. They stealing shit. This the older don't want to adapt. Huh? They stayed in these messed up relationships. Right? I'm gonna give you a observation of mine. And I'm not about to sit in here like I know for sure, but it was observation. Do y'all remember the movie The Temptations, the movie series, the series movie, The Temptations? I remember when Paul was super drunk and he was singing, and everybody was kind of feeling sad for him because they know he was toasted. He was drunk as hell. And when he fell out and they was trying to get him, he like, man, get off me, man. I'm all right. Like, well, I can't sing. You trying to tell me I can't sing the song for that, And they just like, man, go ahead and go home, man. And then the wife, the women looked at the wife who got to deal with this. They looked at her and was just like, it's gonna be okay, baby. And his wife went home with him. Like, But this ain't a first time it's happened, right? Like Paul became a real drunk. Rest in peace to Paul, man. But he became a real drunk, a real addict to the alcohol. Right? Nowadays, it's hard to say that a woman is going to stick around if that's your character. Right? You going to tell me that that Sandra is going to, well, Sandra probably stuck around. That's a wrong name. Let's think of a newer name. You mean to tell me Ashley stuck around? You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, is Ashley going to stick around when James is just a fucking drunk all the time in public, at parties, just embarrassing her? You think she going to stick around for that nowadays? Hell no. Nah. Because the option is I can get the fuck on. It's easier to do that now. It wasn't that easy back then because the struggle was a little harder, right? So they stayed in those messed up relationships. And it wasn't because they were strong. You know what I'm saying? But it's because they kind of felt like I ain't got no choice. This is how it is. I ain't got no choice. I'm here. Right? When you think about today's society, they question those things. They don't sit there and just accept it because an older person told them. I have those conversations all the time. I say something about something I went through and how it's like, man, I ain't had no choice. And then they'll be like, the hell you mean? Like, why? Why you ain't just go, or why you ain't just do this, or why you? Because for them, it ain't that hard. Like, no, I'm gonna just switch this shit up now. I ain't got to deal with it. You see what I'm getting at, man? Today's society would question those things, and they ain't about to be dealing with it. Because now people openly speak about anxiety, right? Depression, being burnt out, trauma, right? Emotional neglect, right? They speak on that shit. They look for answers. They find answers when the generations before didn't do that. They want to know why. So maybe it isn't weakness, right? Maybe that's the evolution, right? Because being aware and wanting to know why, that can look soft, but it only looks soft to the people who were taught to suppress everything, right? Hey, damn, why you want to know? Why you trying to find out the solution to this? You just deal with it. It's here. Deal with it. What? And when we say deal with it, we mean suffer through it. The older generation, that's what we mean when we say deal with it. This newer nowadays, the way they deal with it is they ask questions, they find reasons, they find solutions, and they switch it up. Right? That's the disconnect. That's that bridge we need to walk on. Like, we need to walk together on this bridge and build it. I mean, we can't walk on it until we build it, right? So let's build this bridge so we can walk. Now everybody can just walk on each person's side of everything versus looking over there across the river and being like, look at them. And then they looking at us, look at them. Let's make a bridge, man, because that's all it is right now. Nobody is willing to jump on the other side and get a better understanding. I'm just saying, man, right? I mean, I know you see it. I know you see it. I know you experience it. You're there. You've been there, right? You talk to somebody younger than you. The way they see things ain't the way you see things, and then there's the disconnect, right? And y'all better not get disrespectful. Like, even if let's talk about this, man. The danger of extreme comfort, right? So even if society has evolved emotionally, there's still a danger, right? It is. We got to talk about it. It's still a danger because too much comfort changes people, right? When everything becomes convenient, as a person, you can lose patience, you can lose discipline, you can lose resilience, you can lose gratitude, right? And those things, when you don't have those things, it doesn't make you look good. You know what I mean? Just all around person, it don't, right? And then there's the little danger of being too comfortable in today's society with everything, right? Because comfort is powerful until it becomes dependency. I'm let that sink in. Digest that, huh? Until it becomes dependency, it ain't comfortable. You know what I'm saying? It ain't powerful no more. And that's why so many people feel empty. You know what I'm saying? Although they have like easier lives than the older generation, right? Because to be honest with you, like I said, as humans, and we weren't designed to only consume comfort. You know what I mean? Like this is where the older generation would probably try to teach the youth, just don't know how to, deliver the message. But humans, we don't supposed to just always have comfort. We are supposed to have challenges. We're supposed to have effort, purpose, growth, resistance. We're supposed to have these characteristics to further themselves. You know what I mean? It's a part of it. So to just be comfortable all the time, that's not reality, right? Think about it, man. Without struggle, like you can become lost mentally. Like you just don't know how to have any type of go for it type of mentality or attitude about you. And it's not because life is too hard. It's because life lacks that friction, right? It lacks that pushing you up against the wall for you to bounce off of it. That that's I think that's the middle ground conversation that has to be had. You know what I'm saying? Like we got to have that conversation with the older and the youth. That's where the start of the understanding starts to jump in. It's like, look, I get it, man. You can it's easy to be comfortable. It's easy to be okay with everything. You have all these things that we didn't have. I get all of that, but you need to know that challenges and hardship that it brings character, right? Think about it. Your child is has everything that they need right there in front of them. They always have food. They ain't got to worry. They always got their entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Like cable. You know what I'm saying? Video games, tablet, the internet is right there at their fingertips. So they got all the information, all of it. But as parents, I think we're supposed to channel that, right? We're supposed to not only channel it, we're supposed to guide it to a degree to where the children don't feel so entitled. They feel like, okay, okay, maybe if I do this, I can gain this versus it's right here at my fingertips all the time. right? Because we got to talk about it, right? We got to talk about the strange reality of modern life. And let's not lie. Let's not ignore it. Let's not be ignorant. This is the weirdest era in human history. Man, we see it's like I'm at a point if I'm watching something, I am so quick to say, "Oh, that's a skit," or "Oh yeah, they created this scene that ain't real." I'm constantly saying that this ain't real. That ain't real. There's no way that this is real. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. When a lot of times it is, man. It is, and I get so what that's always me now. Like, huh? What? I'm gonna give you some. I'm gonna give you an man. This blew me away. This blew me away. I ain't gonna lie to you. There was a clip I saw, and there was a guy. I guess he caught his wife cheating or whatever. Um, she bought some meta glasses. You know those camera glasses things. She bought some for somebody else, for somebody that she was cheating on her husband, not man, not boyfriend, not somebody she's dating, her husband with. And he found the. I don't know if y'all seen this, but he found the glasses in her sock drawer. You know what I mean? And he put them on. He wearing them, and she see them, and she's just like, "What are you doing with those? Why do you have those on?" When I'm watching this, I'm like, "Oh, he done found her surprise. Maybe she was gonna surprise him with that." And she like, "What are you doing?" You know, but that wasn't the case at all. She was wondering, "What are you doing with those on?" He was like, "I found them in your sock drawer." And she's just like, "What are you doing in my sock drawer? Those aren't yours. Those aren't yours. Those are a gift." She's boldly saying this to her husband. Those are a gift. And he knew, and he even said the dude's name, like, "Oh, it's for so and so." And instead of, "Oh shit, he found me. He found out what I got going on." She's like, "No, take those off. Those aren't yours." He's like, "Who bought these? Because you don't work. So you spent my money to buy some glasses, some expensive glasses for somebody else?" Do y'all know that this woman said, "Where your money is my money, is our money." Boy, that's what I mean. Like the era we living in, that it is weird. That's that lack of self awareness of, holy crap, I'm cheating on my man. I bought another dude these glasses with my man's money. He confronts me about it. I don't have no type of mental capacity to say, "I'm so sorry," or say, "Screw them, they're yours now." Even not even an apology, something, man. It was just straight. What are you doing? How dare you rock these glasses that I got for somebody else? Weird era we are living in, man. And you know what? I seen a dude, and I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I ain't nothing I could have done, right? But just go. I seen a dude cause an accident and kept going. I want y'all to hear that, man, and I want y'all to understand how, for one, disgusting that is. For two, how insensitive that is, and three, how ignorant that is, right? So a guy cuts off another driver. He's gonna doing some speeding on the highway. He cuts off another driver, and the driver had to swerve to not get hit or not hit anybody else. But when they swerved, they lost control. So they spent out, and then another car hits that car. So the guy who started everything never been touched and just drove off while he caused this mass chaos back here. I don't know if he ever got caught. I don't know if he ever suffered any consequences, because from what I saw, he just didn't. There was no part of him to say, holy shit, I started this to stop his car, to see if anybody need help. None of that. To hell with y'all lives, to hell with y'all health, to hell with y'all cars. I got somewhere I need to be. We are living in the weirdest era in human history, man. It is weird out here. So today, people are this has nothing really to do. Those two examples don't have much to do with what I'm about to say. But that's the examples of this weird era we're living in. All right. Sorry. Man. So people today, right, they're physically safer, right? They can just go on Google and know how to really fix ailments that they have. Oh, what's the natural way to fix this? Or what do I take? Technologically advanced. I hate the word so much I can't even say it. They're more connected than ever, for sure. Right? If you want to learn about other cultures and the way world went, you had to get that encyclopedia and look it up. But then even then, you can have an old version and some new shit is going down and you don't even know. But with technology, man, we can find out everything that's going on everywhere. Yet, simultaneously, the people of today are lonelier, man, more anxious, overstimulated, emotionally exhausted, right? And we removed a lot of those external hardships when those internal struggles just exploded, right? And maybe that's because when survival is no longer the main battle, the mind becomes the battlefield. But we've known that forever, right? Your mind is the battlefield, man. Come on, man. Right? That's why they say follow your heart, not your mind. Right? Your soul, instincts. Your chi, not your mind, because your mind can play. It can play. You let it linger long enough. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the ghetto boys. So we reaching that middle ground, man. I'm trying to get to that middle ground. And maybe the answer isn't hard society or soft society. Like maybe healthy societies need both compassion and accountability. Maybe it needs empathy and discipline, right? Maybe it needs emotional intelligence and resistance. Woo. Because pure hardness, that creates broken people, man. You know what I'm saying? And pure softness creates unstable people. So maybe we need both of those things that we complain about as older generations, and maybe we need the things that the youth is trying to tell us we need. That got to be the middle ground, right? The strongest people today may not be the coldest people. Right? They might be the people who can feel deeply, who can think clearly, who can endure difficulty, but stay disciplined and still remain compassionate. That's the real evolution, man. Right? Let's say you're having a conversation with an older person, and I have, and the conversation when it's asked about, man, how was it in your day? What was it like in your day? And a lot of the times they won't really reflect on everything. This is how it would always go. It always start this way. When you ask the older generation, like, what was it like for you? Like growing up, what was it? First thing they'll say, well, it was hard, but we wasn't crying about it. It's like, damn, why you go there that fast, bro? Like you couldn't you there's no other breakdown, right? Just boom, right there. You just wasn't soft and crying about everything like the younger generation. Like, all right, man, damn. And then they'll go on a tangent. And then whenever you meet them with a question, it's like, well, we don't have to deal with that now. Like how you know what I'm saying? Like how would you handle living in I know you living in today's world, but you really not, right? Because we spoke about that. The older generation, they don't care to know about the newer world. They don't know what to say when you ask them these questions, right? They prefer to be gung ho and just firm about how they had it hard, but it was a better life because they still got shit done. You know what I'm saying? We talk a lot about it. I had this conversation about, um, raising children nowadays versus back then. You know what I'm saying? Like back then, when you was raising the child they had no place where adults were, for one. For two, it was like ain't no talking back. You can't even question what I'm telling you. I say it, that's what it is. Shut up. I remember those days. And as the generations go, you know, the parenting ain't as harsh, right? The parenting just get a little bit softer, and I believe that it comes from, well, shit. This is how it was for me. I don't want my children to live like this, so I'm gonna switch it up, right? And then even you switched it up, it's still a little hard for the children. And then as the generations go, those children are saying, well, shit, I had it bad, even though it wasn't as bad, but they had it bad that they feel. So what they say is, well, I'm gonna be a little nicer. And there's always that, right? Bill Burr said it before. He said that when his dad was growing up, it was hard for him. Like his dad would always say that, but then he'd think about his granddad, Bill Burr's granddad, and the life he lived before that. It was way harder. So he was like, as it went down the generations, like we just removed a little bit of the hardness, you know what I'm saying, that the dad had, raising children. You know what I mean? And that's how we do it as a society when it comes to it. But when we get too free with our children, we let them do anything. I mean, the realest shit is what Whitney said, man. The children are our future. We gotta not ignore that. Right? I was having a conversation with my nephew one time, and I was just like, man, your generation, bro. I'm telling you, I steer clear of them because y'all got this. Y'all not tapped in. I'm like, y'all just out here. Y'all just lost causes going crazy. He goes, Well, your generation raised our generation. Fuck. God. Yeah, well, yeah, you're right. Yeah, God damn it. Yeah. I can't say much about that. You hit it on the nail, man, or you hit it on the head of the I whatever that analogy, motherfucker. Y'all know y'all know what I mean. So look, man, maybe if we sit and we have these type of conversations with the youth, we'll get a better understanding of their side of things. Right? That's just how it has to go. And as the older generations, we got to be more open. We have to be. We have to be more open to listening. Yes, y'all are older. Yes, y'all know more because of life experience, but let's just listen for a second. Cause these youth, man, I'm telling you, they they have more information than we ever had. Now, the fact that they just have it and don't really know what to do with it, that's our job. That's when we come in. That's when we come in. And we can guide that information that they have with our experience. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, man. Let's get there. Let's get to that place of this show that we love. That is Stain on My White Tee. This week, boy. Mm, 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 mm. Stain on My White Tee. Man, let me tell you something. I absolutely, I can't even find a word. I can't even find the word. But I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm just gonna say I dislike with great resistance, with great passion, and with great disdain. I do not like it. And I'm sorry, but not sorry. Um, can we please stop as a people, as a people, not just singling out a certain type of person or a certain type of people, just people in general. Can we stop for a minute? Placing your stinking ass in front of people. I don't know if it's done to try to create a situation, and the only situation it can create is a chaotic situation. But my question to you is, why the fuck is that something you want to do? Why do you want that? Y'all know I can't just say this shit, man, and not really get into it. All right, so let's just say you sitting down at a restaurant, right? Or wherever you're sitting down, and it's a place where people are. 9 times out of 10, it's a restaurant. It ain't gonna be too many people unless you at a DMV, uh, or you're at a let's say a convention, right, or some type of party, whatever. But most of the time it's a restaurant. I can't stand it when I'm sitting down and somebody is, waiting for their table or about to get guided to their table, whatever. Depending on what type of restaurant you at. But I'm just gonna say this: you sitting down and you got your food or you waiting for your food. It don't matter. Let's say somebody is walking and they getting guided to their table and they stop. They're right there next to you, right? Why is your ass right there in front of me? I don't like have more self aware about yourself. You know what I'm saying? I vividly when I'm in these situations, I know that I'm right next to somebody. I switch up my standing position, right? Because I know that they're sitting down and they're pretty much eye level to my waist or anybody's waist or what have you. You know what I'm saying? I make sure that I have a certain distance or I'm standing sideways. So, my ass ain't in front of you or you know what I'm saying, ain't in front of you. I stand at some type of an angle to where the person is sitting down and like, I know this motherfucker ain't. They can be like, cool, I appreciate you, man, because I'm really not trying to have that in my face. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. A lot of times it be packed and you really can't maneuver and all of this. But please don't be standing there with your funky ass right at my eye level and you're right there. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that shit, bro. I be really wanting to just like kick you in the back of your knee, make you buckle. Like the thoughts that go through my mind, man, it's just like, just put me in a psych ward, bro, because I be wanting to do some outlandish shit to you. And look, I said it before, as innocent as it may be, in that moment, I don't give a ugh about your innocence. Get your stinking ass out my fucking face. I really, and look, it can be times it can be a beautiful woman. It could be a bad motherfucker, man. Nice ass, nice everything. I don't want that there either. I don't care who you get your ass out of my face, bro. I don't like that shit. I can't stand it. That's how people get pink eye. You just I'm too close to your ass, man. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not comfortable with that. That shit drives me insane. I really, I really like get sweating and shit. I be so be so pissed. Hey man, look man. Let's just say this. Maybe society isn't becoming weak. Maybe we're just witnessing humanity trying to figure shit out. Right? Couldn't it be that? Right? They trying to figure out how to be emotionally healthy without losing toughness. Huh? Because honestly, like that balance might be the one thing civilization has never attempted. Right? Because Survivor taught humans how to endure. However, evolution is trying to teach humans how to heal without becoming fragile. And that right there is the real challenge of what we want to call modern life. That's the real challenge. Look, man, I appreciate you guys stopping by another week. As always, man, I would really like to know that you guys, grabbed something from what I had to say. You know what I mean? Let's have the conversation at home. with the younger generation in your world. Have the conversations, man. Find that bridge. You know what I mean? Because we're not enemies out here. We're all trying to figure it out. You know. So to the ones who showed up, y'all know how I say it, man. I don't care if it's only two of y'all. I truly appreciate y'all with every piece of my being. I really mean that. I truly thank y'all for showing up and listening. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Y'all know how we do it, man. We out.